Good morning and happy Friday. This is Mark Bruno, Editor-in-Chief of the Cannata Report. I'm here with Frank, of course, because it's Friday, but before we jump in, I just want to remind everybody to please like, share, subscribe. If you have a future topic that you'd like us to consider, shoot us a comment and we will consider it. So Frank, I understand that you are not able to join CJ and I next week when we venture to Kansas City for the big BTA birthday party, but you wanted to share some of your thoughts on the big 100th anniversary.
Yes, that is absolutely true, Mark. And they've been posting some of the videos already, which are terrific. I love the one that Jim Caridi did, because Jim is, of all the people that were talking about BTA, he's the only one that was around when it was NOMDA. So I'd like to add a little perspective to these congratulations, because I was definitely there when it was NOMDA. But the truth of the matter is, without NOMDA, the Japanese manufacturers would never have been enabled to build a distribution as quickly as they did without NOMDA. I think that is categorically true, and I defy anyone to disagree with that, because it was a perfect setting. It was a big convention. They had the opportunity to build a booth as big as some of them built huge booths, brought all their products, and they were showing them for the first time to dealers. But of course, they were smart enough to be out there recruiting people who were more prone to go to copiers than typewriter dealers. So they had a place for those people to come that was well known and recognized as a good event. And it really was considered as an excellent event. So I would like to the kudos that I've heard, which I think are all appropriate, I would like to add that I don't think the distribution could have been built not only as quickly, but as well, because they had time every year to come in over a period, I would say 6-7 years, maybe even longer, because I think BTA became in 1997. And I'm talking about the 70s when the Japanese manufacturers started coming in. And then eventually, the manufacturers had built their distribution by the 80s, and they started breaking away from going to NOMDA and doing their own thing. And it was a bit of a problem, because NOMDA BTA had to change, had to become a little bit different, because they were losing people, manufacturers that came in and spent a lot of money and added to what was being shown. But that was the evolvement of the business that had to happen. And I think in many ways, because it helped the dealers, because those early years, particularly in the late 70s, early 80s, the typewriter dealers were really looking for alternatives. And the ones that were attuned to what the potential was got in early, but there were a lot of them. And I remember surveying dealers in 81, 82, and saying that were typewriter dealers, said, I should have taken on copiers a long time ago. But that was the general attitude. So kudos to them really being there, giving these manufacturers an opportunity to create an incredible industry. And I believe, of all the numbers that I've seen, they've built basically a $30 billion plus distribution. I'm talking about the dealer side, which wasn't shabby, and really did a hell of a job. So my congratulations to BTA. They're still doing well. And I know that the dealers are benefiting by being a member of BTA. And I would say from the perspective of the support they provide, it is excellent. Legally, it couldn't be better. With Bob Goldberg established and turned over to his son Greg is perfect for the organization and has been perfect. And we can only wish them continued success.
Thank you, Frank. We'll miss you next week. I know you'll be there in spirit, and hopefully a lot of people will see your message today.